Hey friends, it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to bring you my November 2023 art journal with me video. So I've got my art journal, which I always have linked down below, along with all of the other supplies. And then I've just pulled out a few things for today. So first off, for my focal panel, I've pulled out this napkin with these owls and some fall leaves. I thought that that was really cute. I recently picked this up at Marshall's for $2.99. It's from the company Clementine. I just thought these owls were super cute, and I haven't done an art journal spread with a napkin in a while. And then of course I can just reuse the rest of these napkins for home, you know. So I have that, and then I also thought that that went really well with the Stamperia Romantic Collection Garden of Promises. I just thought the color palette in here was very similar and thought that that would be fun to use. So I might use a page from that. I also have a couple of different washi tapes and some little bits of ephemera. Some of these I pulled out from just my stash of different ephemeras. I've got some little tickets and papers and things, dictionary paper. And then for my personal items this month, I have a little stub from an event that I went to with my stepmom. So there's some tickets for that. And then I also have this receipt from the Salvation Army where I recently purchased a vintage typewriter. I don't know if this paper, because it's that carbon copy paper, I don't know if this will kind of bleed when I add liquid to it, like some gesso and stuff, but we'll see. Maybe we'll include a little bit of that as well. I've also got my Tim Holtz Ideology Small Talk stickers, which I always use for my title. And then I pulled out some Stabilo Woodys in some colors that I thought might go well with today's palette, but I might switch it up and use something else instead. I'm not 100% sure yet on those. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So we'll start with my art journal. We'll open that up and find the next page. So that would be this one right here, and I think I'm going to need a bulldog clip to hold this book open because it's definitely getting towards the end of the book, so the front is more heavy than the back. So that ought to help. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and then I'm going to line the seam of my book with some washi tape, as I always do, just to make sure everything holds together nicely and that my papers don't start to separate, especially since my book has perforated pages. So if they got wet, they would be easy to kind of fall out of the book. Just tear off down at the bottom. I had a little extra piece right down there, and then this piece will just stick anywhere. We just want to break the blank page and make it not so intimidating. So maybe we'll tear this one down into a couple little strips, put a little bit over here, and maybe some over here, and that's good. So now we've already got some stuff laid down without much thought. So we've got a start. So now I also wanted to add some of these little washi tapes. They look like little postage stamps, and there's this one here that has owls on it, or an owl on it, which I thought would be cute because it goes with our little theme there. So I'm going to tear that one off, and maybe we'll add that one right up here towards the top. And then these others we can just stick here and there wherever, just to kind of add some texture to the page. These will likely get covered up, at least in part, but that's fine. Maybe we'll put one over here and right there. Okay, so let's go on to my ephemera. So I've got all of this stuff here, and I'm just going to start tearing this in pieces and putting that down, and I'm going to adhere that using my Elmer's Craft Bond Extra Strength glue stick. So I've been using this one now for almost 2 years and really liking it. So we'll just go ahead and start sticking some stuff down here. Again, I'm not really thinking too much about where things are going to go. I just want to have a bit of color on the page. Maybe we'll put that one up there. This one I think might be a sticker. Is that a sticker or is it just thick paper? No, it is coming apart. Okay. Alright, so that one's kind of like a washi sticker, so it's like see-through a bit. Maybe we'll add that one over there. Let's see. I have this little strip. Maybe we'll put that one towards the inner part. Just adding a bit of glue behind that. And then just sticking them down wherever I think that, you know, a little bit of color might show up later on. So there we go. So I would love to know how you guys have been doing. I always like to ask and check in with you guys during these art journal videos because they're definitely a lot more informal, and I can chat about my life and hear about yours. I really love to get updated on what you guys have been up to, especially at this time of the year when there's so much going on with the Thanksgiving holiday and Christmas coming. Just anything like that. Any projects you've been working on for Christmas or just in general. How you guys, do you have your Christmas cards done yet? I definitely do not. I'm still in the middle of my holiday card series. Right now I have 12 videos filmed. I think you'll have seen 10 when this video goes up. You definitely will have seen 10. Number 11 will be Friday and number 12 will be Monday. And I still have a lot more to go, so just, you know, continuing to work on that. I'll probably be working on mine right up until Christmas because I just don't have like a ton of cards made yet, you know, and I like to give out a lot. Just trying to create like little clusters of things. So I think I'll add this one over here. I definitely need to make a lot more because I have not made enough for everybody that I like to give to. So I gotta continue working on that. This one is kind of interesting. It's got like a little collage of things, so we'll tear that up and use it in a few places. Let's see. Maybe something in there. I don't really care about that little dog, even though he's adorable. He doesn't really fit the theme for today, so I don't mind if he gets covered up. So yeah, I'm still chugging along on the holiday cards for sure. I have started some of my Christmas shopping. I'm not really making any handmade gifts this year. I just don't really have that many people that would be into something like that right now. So I have been doing some shopping. I got my Christmas lists from my boys finally, so I've been shopping for them. Still looking for gifts for my husband. I haven't really found too much that I think would interest him, so still on the hunt for the perfect gifts for him, but I'm making progress, so that's always good. It's always such a good feeling to, you know, be making headway on all of that stuff because there's just so much going on at the holidays. It makes it really difficult. I wish I started earlier, but just never seems to happen. I don't know. If you're like somebody who gets all your shopping done before like even Black Friday, or if you are more like me who like that's the start of your shopping usually is Black Friday. I usually don't have any gifts done before that. But maybe I'll just add that whole piece right there. I think that kind of looks nice. So We'll stick that. And then as for the rest of my family, we're doing a gift exchange. So I only have one person for myself to buy for. And then I'm going to another family reunion next weekend. And I need to buy a women's gift for a gift exchange for that. And I have not figured out what to get for that yet. So still have a ways to go. But like I said, I'm making progress. So that's nice. We'll add that one right over here. Why not? And again, I don't know if it'll show or if part of it'll show, but that's all right. We're just building up the layers and kind of seeing how things will fit together. So stick that there. And then I'll add in my little ticket stub. So I actually didn't realize that I didn't put one of this was for like a raffle for baskets, and it had like a whole bunch of other ones to tear off, and I didn't realize that this was part of one, so I still have that. I didn't win anything. I never win anything at those raffles, but my stepmom did. She won, so that was cool. She got a basket. But yeah, it was just like a ladies event that was fun and different. I'd never been to anything like that before, but we had a really good time. They had food and special speaker and the gift basket raffle and stuff like that. So I don't know, do I want another piece? Maybe we'll just leave the one there. I kind of like it like that. And then let's see, do I want any of this? Let's go ahead and maybe just use the part where it says typewriter. And like I said, I don't even know if this will end up staying on there because I'm not sure what kind of paper this is, but maybe we'll just stick it right down there. You know what? Before I stick that down, maybe we'll stick some of this dictionary paper first and just have a few little pieces of that in places. And then we can layer the typewriter piece on top. That way it won't get too covered up, maybe. That looks like it'll go right in there. And then we've got this little piece. That should fit somewhere. Maybe right in here. Just kind of making a collage of things, adding pages here and there. Or not pages, but you know, like little bits of the paper. And then we'll knock it all back with some gesso and stuff, you know, to try to make it a little bit more cohesive. Maybe like right in here. Be a little bit tricky because it's going in the seam, but because that paper is so thin, I'm hoping it'll be all right. We'll see. If not, it might end up cracking there, but that's all right. Maybe a little bit over here. Some smaller pieces. Maybe down here. Okay. And I think we need a little bit more on this side. Maybe there. Down towards the bottom. Let's fill in some of this white space. Looks good to me. And again, that might get covered up with some of the owls from the napkin, but we'll just play it by ear and see. It's not a big deal. It's nice to have those little personal touches though, I think. Just adds a little extra memory, you know. add a little bit of this piece too up there. There we go. Okay. I'm thinking maybe a touch more of this yellow just up there, maybe with some of the red on there. So just tear off a little piece for that. And again, I'm not sure how that ink is printed on there, so we'll see if it stays or not. But for now, it just adds a little extra pop of color in there. Alright, I think I'm going to take a look through this Stamperia. I can never remember how you say that, if it's Stamperia or Stamperia. I think it's Stamperia. Anyway, it's an Italian company, but I think I really just like this brown polka dot. I think that might be nice to add a little bit of dark edges in there, and then maybe use a little bit of what's on the back as well. So I think I might tear some of this off and use that. I might want to save this for another project, so I'm just going to tear off the edge of the paper. And that ought to be enough because we're pretty full already. I do like those florals. Maybe we can add those in somewhere. So let's save that. And we'll tear off the edge to make it a little bit more organic looking. So maybe we'll add those in somewhere, something like that. And then I'm thinking a little bit of this over on this side, maybe over there. You know what, I think I want a little bit more of that floral though, because, so maybe we'll take this one down here as well, because I feel like just having it in one place will be off balance. So let's go ahead and take out this little piece as well. We'll find a place to use that over on this side. Make that a little bit smaller. Maybe somewhere in here. I'm going to go ahead and commit to that. I'm going to do that. So we'll adhere this one over on this side. Maybe we'll even go up a little bit higher there. Okay, and then this one, maybe even down here. Maybe down there. Let's do that. So I hope you all had a very happy Thanksgiving. Mine was very nice. My family is one of those weird ones that we always do a 5K race on Thanksgiving morning. We've done that for probably, oh gosh, maybe, I want to say 7 or 8 years at least, maybe even longer. I'm not really sure. We've been doing it for such a long time now. But yeah, so we always go all together down first thing Thanksgiving morning. So I had to be up at like 6:30 to get down to the race site on time. And then this was my first year actually running, and by running I mean I jogged. Normally I walk the race just because I really wasn't in that great of shape, but I'm in much better shape now than I ever have been in many years. So I've been training for that for a while now because I really wanted to be able to run this year and push myself and see if I could do it. So I did, and that was really cool and fun. I'm really proud of myself for that because for all the years I've been doing this, I've always said, oh, maybe next year I'll try running, maybe next year. But I knew it would take like, you know, a year of training to be able to do that because, you know, I would get out of breath very easily back then. And this year I did fine. I did really good. So I was really proud of myself, and we all did good. So my husband and my kids and my dad, we all went and ran it together, and it's just a good time. It's a nice family bonding experience. My dad's company is one of the sponsors of the race, so it's just nice to go down and show our support and do all of that. And then by the time we got home, it was time to start cooking for the dinner. So I always make corn casserole, sweet potato crunch, which is like mashed sweet potatoes with like a crunchy topping with pecans and like a cereal, like a cornflake and like butter and brown sugar. It's like all mixed together and then crumbled on the top and baked together. It's really delicious. So I'm in charge of that, plus the pumpkin bread and an autumn cheesecake. It's like a normal New York cheesecake, but it has sliced apples arranged on top and pecans and stuff like that. It's so, so delicious. It's so good. It's probably like my one must-have of Thanksgiving. It just wouldn't be Thanksgiving without it. But so I had to get home and get to cooking after that, and then we met at 4 o'clock for our dinner with my brothers and their families, and just had a nice time, you know, eating and having conversation. And then after we were all done and everything was cleaned up, we played my favorite game. It's a card game called Pounce. It's very, very, very fast-paced. I don't know if I've mentioned it on this channel before, but it's very fast-paced, and every single person needs their own deck of cards. So when you play with like 8 people, there's 8 decks of cards. So 8 times 52 is how many cards are in play at, you know, any given moment. And so it's very, very fast-paced, and I love it. It is like, I just love it so much. It's my favorite, and I usually am pretty good at it. So I did win this year, which was really nice. It's always extra nice when it's something that you love and then you get to get the bragging rights and say that you won. And but I love playing no matter what. I'd be happy even if I didn't win, but it's always nice to win. So yeah, that was really fun. My brother's wife, she's newer to the family. They just got married like 2 years ago, I want to say. And so she had never played before, and she absolutely fell in love with it. We played at my recent family reunion last month. So that was her first introduction. So she was super excited to play again. And so we made sure to, I brought cards and stuff so we could all take part again. And she had such a good time, and she's so good for a newbie. Like, usually you're kind of in the negative scoring wise for, you know, your first little while, but she actually pounced a couple of hands. So really, really cool that I have another person in the family who loves playing as much as I do, because I win a lot, and it's that's not like to brag. It's more of like a negative. It's because like nobody wants to play with me, or at least my kids don't really want to play with me anymore because they just want to beat me, and I can't really. Not yet anyway. They've got to play longer. I've been playing since I was like 12 years old, so it was a game that my grandma and my aunts used to always play when we would get together for Christmas or 4th of July. And myself and my next oldest cousin, I'm the oldest cousin out of everybody. And the next one is also a girl. And then there's a ton of boys. And then way at the end, the second to the last cousin is also a girl. So my next cousin to me and I would always want to play Pounds. We would be so excited. And the aunts told us we had to wait until we were 12. So I would always be like, waiting, when can I play? When can I play? I can't wait to be 12. So once I turned 12, I just was so raring to go, and since then I've played, you know, anytime somebody's playing, I'm gonna be playing too, because I love it so much. And I don't know, I just gotten good at it because I love it so much, and I'm always willing to play. And so yeah, my boys just are gonna have to practice a little bit more if they want to be able to beat me, and so they have to keep playing me in order to get better. So anyway, it's fun though. I'm so excited to have another person who's excited to play, because I only get to play like once or twice a year when I go see my extended family, because that's who plays the game. You know, that's who's always played it with us. And yeah, you know what? I think this is looking pretty good. Maybe just a little tiny sliver of this brown somewhere in here, just to kind of break up this white edge. But I think I'm ready for some gesso after this. So maybe we'll just add that right in there. Alright, so I've got my Pro Art white gesso. Any white gesso would work, but this is just what I have on hand. It's so old. I've had this for so many years, but I am going to sit down so I can get a little bit closer in there and then knock a good bit of this back. I'm just dipping my finger in there, and then we'll just tap, 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 tap until we kind of make things a little bit more muted and just start to come together a bit. But anyway, that was my Thanksgiving, and it was really, really lovely. I love spending time with family and getting all together. We live a little bit spread apart. My one brother lives maybe 30 to 40 minutes away, and the other brother lives an hour away. So we get together fairly often, you know, but not like all the time. Certainly not every week or anything like that, or even every month, but for the important things. So it's always nice though when you can all come together. And my niece came with her new baby. She has a 2-month-old baby, and so I got to hold the baby, which I loved. It was just, she's so precious, so precious. You know what, this is not glued down very well, so let me just grab a little bit of extra glue and just stick that down a little bit better. Kind of wish I had stuck something right in here on that white spot, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Maybe we'll go back and add something later, because we have to still do the owls, but I just want to knock things back a bit first, so because they're on that tissue paper of the napkin, they're gonna like show through what's behind, probably, at least in some parts. So I just want to make sure that they are going to be visible, so I need to add a little bit, you know, of gesso and make sure that they have a background that they can stand up against. So, but yeah, the only bad thing about the turkey trot is that oh man, I was sore for so many days afterwards. I'm finally now like over it, but man, did I have leg pain for those first few days. That was rough, because I had to work, not Friday, but Saturday, a full day, and, you know, and then just do our grocery shopping. My husband and I work every Saturday, and then we go grocery shopping Saturday evening right after work. Like, I literally come home, change my clothes, and we leave again. So I was doing a lot of being out and about and having to run around because the studio was very busy on Saturday at work, and so I didn't get a chance to really rest too much. Other than Friday, I did get a little bit of downtime on Friday. That was pretty much like my only downtime this whole entire month so far, because it's just been so crazy with all the holiday card series and the bonus videos that I've been posting this month and stuff like that. It's been like go, 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 go this whole entire month so far. So I did kind of take off Friday and I didn't film or do anything because I needed a break after all of that and all of the baking, and I didn't take time off to do the baking, so I was, you know, filming all day and then baking in the evening. And it was just, I was getting very overwhelmed, so I made sure to kind of arrange things so that I could at least have the Friday after Thanksgiving off, because I knew I would be sore from the turkey trot. I've been sore every year after finishing, but especially when you're running for the first time, jogging. I didn't run. I mean, my kids finished in probably, not quite, but almost half the time that I did, because it was just my first year, and I wanted to go slow and steady. I mean, it's 3.1 miles, so I wanted to go slow and steady and make sure that I would have energy to finish, because I didn't want to, like, you know, get so exhausted halfway through that, you know, I was really struggling. So I just went slow and steady this time for my first time running, and it worked out really well. So I'm hoping to do even better next year, but I shaved off about 15 minutes of my usual time, so I'll take that as a win. I'm pretty happy with that. And okay, I think that might be good for the gesso for now. Maybe a little bit more. This yellow is so bold, so maybe just a little bit more in here to just soften that a bit. But yeah, I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna grab some clear gesso and we'll start adding in the owls. Okay, so I am going to add in my parchment paper here just to make sure that my pages don't get stuck together like that one time when I forgot. And then I'm using some Dina Wakley Media clear gesso. So let's go ahead and take apart this napkin. Normally they have 2 or 3 plies. Let's see if it says. This one doesn't say, so we'll just have to figure it out. Okay. Let's see if we can get it separated at the corners. Okay, there's one. So that we can just throw away because it's just plain. Let's see if there's another one in here. I don't know, that might be it. I'm not really getting another one to come apart. Maybe it was only 2 ply? Let's try a different corner. Oh, there we go. Nope. So it was definitely 3. Alright, so you want to separate all the plies because you only want the one that the printing is on for your art journal or whatever artwork you're doing. Okay, so that is the last one. So now we just have to see which owls we want to add in. You know what? It's a little bit overwhelming to look at it all at once just because there's so many of them. So I think I'm going to start kind of tearing just one section out. Pretty much on the line, but did kind of go around some of the leaves that were in there. And I can always add in more leaves as well, but I'm just going to start with one section because all of the owls are on one. And then they're just repeated on the four, you know, the four panels, the four little sections. It's all the same. So let's start with just this. I think that's going to be enough, but I don't want to use it as a whole. I want to use it like in different parts. So let's see, let's tear it here. I'll tear out this big owl down at the bottom. And if I mess up, I've got this whole other section I can reuse, and I've got a ton more napkins as well, so not too worried about it, but this is fairly easy to tear. Now that it's only one ply, it tears pretty easy. So let's see, we'll go over here to give him the branch, and then I'll just leave this little guy separate, and maybe we'll add him somewhere else as well. Okay, so we've got one. I'm just going to tear the bottom edge a bit so it's not so straight. And I'm just going to lay these owls out first and kind of figure out how I want them arranged before I commit to anything. So maybe something over here for this big guy. And we've got, let's go, oh, we've got this one as well. We can add that little leaf in separately if we need to, because that's kind of hanging on by a thread. And then we've got two more. So this one kind of got a little bit destroyed, so maybe we'll just tear him off and we'll get a new one. But we've got this guy as well. Again, just kind of making it a little bit softer on the edges. Let's see here. Tearing out some of that empty white space. And then maybe we'll have this guy over there. And we could kind of connect these two maybe into there. And then maybe have that kind of come across. And then where's the little one down at the bottom? Let's take some of this. All right, and then we've got this little guy maybe somewhere down here. I'm going to adhere those using my clear gesso. So I'm using the Dina Wakley Media Clear Gesso, which is the one that I've always use for these art journal videos. I'm starting to get down to the bottom of the jar. So let's start with this guy here. I'll just add a nice layer. And then we'll stick him down right about there. And we'll add another layer on top. Smooth them out a bit. You can see how everything that is underneath is kind of coming through. So if you want your, your napkin images to be even brighter, you would want to add more white gesso kind of underneath them. Let's save that leaf, and maybe, is that somewhere right in here? I'm not entirely positive, but that looks good to me. So we'll just smooth that one over. So again, because he's on the blue, you can kind of see the blue showing through. That doesn't bother me, but if you had wanted them to show up even more visibly, like depending on what kind of art you're doing with your napkin, then you might want to add more white underneath that. All right, so then we'll do this guy. Again, just kind of sealing him in between layers of the clear gesso. Trying to get that under there. Okay. There we go. And then we've got this little one. Maybe right about there. And then we've got this little leaf that I pulled off, and maybe we'll have that one kind of going out over the seam from there. Into here. Just trying to line up the branch a little bit. There we go. And again, that's so paper thin that it shouldn't be a problem in the crease, but anyway, I'm just going to do a quick layer of the clear gesso over everything, just to make everything nicely sealed in and prepped for the next step. And then I am going to heat set this with my heat gun, just because this clear gesso does take a little bit longer to dry than the white one. Just because the white one was such a thin layer, and this one, even though I'm doing a thin layer, it's still thicker than what I did with the white. So, oh, in my owl's face. Oh, no, I just got a little piece of something over his face. Okay, good. All right. So I will heat set this and then we'll be right back. Okay, so I have heated everything up and dried it, and you can see that the word typewriter did disappear completely. So I am going to save that for my date stamp later on, but I wanted to fill in some of this space because there was just too much blank space there. So I'm going to just add a few more little leaves, and I've actually added a few leaves along the edges as well, as I was kind of noticing some blank spots. So we'll just add that. And then let's see, this one here too, I thought I would add a little bit extra in here just for some extra pops of color. I can get it on there straight. There we go, something like that. And then the red ink up here kind of blurred. You can still see it, but the more I think about it, the more I'm not sure that I love that word abandoned in there. I don't know if that really fits the family vibes for, you know, Thanksgiving. So thinking I might just take another one of these leaves. I just keep tearing extra leaves out and just add that kind of coming down from the top. So maybe like just in here to kind of cover up a little bit of it. There we go. And then I almost wondered if I should try to layer this extra little owl on top of the other one. If I could get it lined up just right, it might work, just to make him a little bit more vivid, because he's so hidden in here. So I might try that. I don't know. We'll see if I can manage it. If not, I'll just peel him back up. But I'm going to try it. that about right? I think his eyes aren't quite there, but almost. There we go. There. So he's just a little bit more visible because there's two layers of it there over that blue, and I like that better. I don't mind the blue shining through, but I just wanted him to, you know, be a little bit more visible. So I think that worked out all right. Okay, so I'm going to dry this again. Okay, so I think that is pretty much dry now. And I'm kind of thinking I might switch gears on the color and use my Faber-Castell Pit Artist pens. I just think it might help me to be able to make these owls stand out a bit more. Like especially I want to use this brown shade. So let me see how those work. I haven't used these in a little while, but I really want to kind of emphasize some of the branches. I thought that might be nice to kind of just kind of continue those on a bit and make sure that they stand out. Maybe add a little bit of definition to the edges of the owls where they've gotten a bit lost. I thought just, you know, that might help them to just stand out a bit more since they are on that really thin tissue paper. So I thought I might just go around and add some shading just here and there a little bit. I think that's helping. I think that's helping to define them a little bit more. Maybe a little bit on this side. And I can smudge these with my fingers since I have the clear gesso on there too. So if the line is looking a little bit too much, then I can just kind of smudge it a bit, make it so a little bit softer. Can actually just come in and add some extra veining to the leaves as well. Soften those a bit. Just with a few quick lines. Let's definitely do this little guy here. So definitely leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys have been working on, how you spent your Thanksgiving, if you have any plans for the Christmas season. I always like to drive around and look at lights and do all of that. Although my kids are getting a little bit old for doing that, but I mean, even if it's just me and my husband, I still enjoy that. The kids are always off doing their own things now because they're all grown. So even though they live here at home still, because they're still young, one of them's in college, one's about to start college after taking a year off, and then the other one is working in his dream job already. So he's just 18, but he got his dream job right off the bat, so he's happily doing that. And so they're all still living here and coming and going all the time, you know, because everybody's working and has classes and different groups, youth groups, and all kinds of stuff that they are involved in, which is nice. I'm glad that they're out there doing stuff too and making their own little traditions with their friends and all of that. But yeah. Let's see. I I think that's helping. I think that's helping quite a bit, actually. Maybe we'll extend this branch over here and kind of have that trail off a bit. Maybe this one too. This one kind of comes down back over here. Maybe we can have a little bit kind of sticking up. I'm not great at drawing trees in, but it's really just, you know, sketching out a few little lines here and there, and then kind of softening them a bit by pressing down with your finger so that they have like the same consistency as the ones that are drawn in. This one could be a bit more substantial there since we've got our big owl sitting on it. That's pretty good. Maybe we'll take the black one, see how that works on the eyes. I'd like to kind of emphasize the eyes a bit more. Make those a little bit brighter. Is that making a difference? I'm not really sure. We have so much snow here right now. Oh my gosh. So much snow. It's like up to my knees already. Yeah, I'm not loving that, although it is very pretty and it does make for some nice light in my craft room. But I just do not want to go anywhere when it starts snowing. And unfortunately, we get so much of it here, you know, from like October to May. And it's just a lot sometimes. It can be a lot. Do I want to add a little bit of shading around the edges? And if I do, maybe I don't want to use those. Maybe I would rather use, should I try a little bit of this? The Stabilo Woodys, maybe the brown. Just have that in a few little places to kind of add a bit of a darker border. I don't know if I want only brown though. And I don't really want to do brown and orange because that's so Halloween. I wonder if I add in a little bit of this blue. Let's just try it because I do have a few little places of the blue, you know, with the leaves and stuff. And I'd like to add something that's a little bit unexpected maybe in the mix and not just your typical fall colors. A little extra dark up in the corners. All right, I think that's looking good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start looking for my title now. So I'm just gonna flip through my Tim Holtz Ideology Small Talk stickers and see what I'd like to use for this month. And I think we'll go for black this month. I usually switch back and forth each month, and I did white last month, so let's see what we can find that might work. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with the whole idea of training for the turkey trot and running my first race. So I have never give up, great things take time, and I'd like to have at least one more. Maybe make it happen. And maybe you are capable of becoming more than you realize. Let's do those. Okay, so where do we want these? Maybe we'll do great things take time. Maybe over here, make it happen. Never give up. Guess we'll do it like that. And maybe I'll just use my Pit Artist pen to outline those since I already have that out. just to emphasize it a little bit more. It's a little bit thicker than the gel pen I usually use, but the gel pens sometimes have a hard time writing over all the layers, so we're just going to work with it. These artist pens work great over all that stuff. No issues at all. All right. So we need a date stamp. Let me grab that. So I'm going to use my Ranger Archival black ink, and I just need to change the date. Today is November 29th. So we will go ahead and stamp that down, and I'm going to put it right in here. There we go, perfect. And I think maybe we'll add a few little white splashes since it is already snowing and we're fully in winter here. So I think some little white splashes might tie things in nicely. So let me just grab that, and we will use the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. Let's get a paintbrush. Yeah, it is definitely a snowy day. I'm actually going to make chili for dinner tonight. I thought that would be a nice snowy day meal. I'm going to do chili with cornbread. I always like to have cornbread with my chili. I don't know about you guys. My husband likes to eat his chili over rice, but I don't. I just want some cornbread on the side. That makes me happy. Yesterday I did a apple cider braised pork shoulder. That one was really good too. That was a nice recipe. I always get all my recipes off Pinterest. I have so many recipes saved on there. It's crazy. But I found some really good ones, so if you guys are ever looking for recipes, you can follow me on Pinterest. I've got tons of boards for that. Okay, let's add in some little white splashes. Just a few here and there, not too many. You know what? I think this paintbrush is almost too small. Let's see if I can get a little bit bigger. Let's try this one, see if that's any better. Okay, a few on this side. Just adding a little snow to our fall scene. Since this was definitely a month of both for us anyway. Alright, that's going to be it from me today with our sweet little paper napkin owls. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, and let me know how you're doing, because I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I'll see you soon in another video. Bye-bye.